You've got Clemson against Louisville this week. How do you think that's going to play out between the defending national champs? As, by the way, it looks like Deshaun Watson's going to get his first NFL start here tonight in Cincinnati, taking on Lamar Jackson. What do you think?
Well, I think, we all remember game day traveling to Louisville a year ago about this time when Florida State came into town, right? And they put a show on that I don't think anybody's going to forget. That 63 points they hung on Charles Kelly's defense and Jimbo Fisher, that's going to be one of those things that they'll show over and over again when Louisville gets ready to go back to and play the rematch in Tallahassee. But this defense that they're playing in this particular game, Jarrett Stidham at Auburn got all he needed of it. 11 sacks last week in Death Valley in a game that offensively they struggled, but give Auburn's defense a lot of credit. They win the game 14-6. They're coming in there. And if you look at the stat line last year, as great as Lamar Jackson was, and he was stupendous, 47 sacks, Rich. 47 sacks last year against one of the best athletes to ever play quarterback. And to me, that is a recipe for disaster, especially coming in with a group of guys that is hungry for more after 11 sacks against Stidham and company. So I'm leaning towards Clemson. It wouldn't shock me if Louisville gets it done. And if, in fact, it does happen, if it comes to pass, we're all going to be talking about Lamar and, the duplicating his Heisman effort from a year ago. But really the story should be about Bobby Petrino, because it wasn't so long ago that Bobby Petrino was left for dead. That motorcycle accident in Arkansas, who could have imagined that he'd be back on this kind of stage, taking a program that, was lucky to get into the ACC when Maryland departed for the Big Ten. And here they are, capturing the nation's attention on a stage against the defending national champs with a quarterback that wears a cape. It's a phenomenal story.
So, if Clemson wins this thing, and you take a look at the rest of their schedule, you could pretty much pencil them in, right?
Well, they have another game at the end of the month. If Clemson gets through September, I think they're in really good shape, and that all depending on how James Blackman, the replacement quarterback there at Florida State, does. But assuming that he struggles like a lot of freshmen do, then I would say yes. But that Virginia Tech game on September 30th looms large. That kid there, Josh Jackson, the true freshman, he came out of the box hot against West Virginia. 200 yards passing, 100 yards on the ground. And Justin Fuente's got kind of a reputation now as a quarterback whisperer. So I wouldn't rule that one out, especially when the game's in Blacksburg.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that video, be sure to download our app, and I'll be sure to help the NFL figure out what a catch is.